Alright guys, so today's the day that we start the total drama Iceberg. Now I know I put a poll up on YouTube saying that I would do what you guys choose, which was the Tony Hawk Iceberg, but then I saw this total drama Iceberg. I thought, why not do this first and then the Tony Hawk one, then the Roll Combat one, then the Google Images one, if I ever do those in that order. So yeah, here you go, into the total drama Iceberg. Two winners each season. So basically, each and every season in Total Drama, there's at least two winners, depending on where you live. So take Total Drama Island for example. So if you lived in Canada, then Owen would win on, well, wherever you're living in Canada. But if you're living in America or anywhere else, Glenn would win Total Drama Island. And that's basically the way it went every single season. Total Drama-Rama. Basically, Total Drama-Rama is a spin-off of, well, Total Drama. Oh yeah, and for some reason, Jude appears in there, even though he's not even from Total Drama, he's from 16. Total Drama was made in Canada. Basically, Total Drama Island and all the rest of the seasons, they're made in Canada, and Total Drama actually takes place in Canada, in Camp Wallenaqua. Also, it was aired in Canada, so yeah. Camp TV. So basically, before Total Drama was a thing, Camp TV was actually a first name for Total Drama, but then it was, changed. Some of the characters actually look the same, so like Jeff, Trent, Kinda Beth, and Harold. Mr. Coconut. So basically, in episode 23 of Total Drama Island, Owen and all the rest of the campers get stuck on the island, except Owen gets stuck in that confessional booth, which I showed earlier in the intro. And basically, he draws his face on Mr. Coconut, and well, yeah, that's who Mr. Coconut is. Total Drama Reunion. So basically, Total Drama Reunion is being developed by Blue Productions. And the whole premise of it was that the first gen cast of Total Drama, they were kidnapped and taken by Chris, and they were back on the island. And they were going to do different challenges, but they kind of didn't because the show was taken down. Now, why was it taken down? It was because of copyright reasons. There is re-uploads of it, but there isn't any new episodes since of the copyright. There are more seasons than Total Drama Island, which there is. Character tier lists. So like other fandoms, shows, TV shows, whatever, there's tier lists of, characters they like or what seasons were the best. The template I'm showing right now is probably the most used template for tier lists, and Total Drama has that too. Character ships. So basically, like other shows and TV shows and what I just literally explained a few seconds ago, there's ships, like Left 4 Dead ships or something. Chris McClane's crimes. So basically, Chris McClane has many crimes, but I'll explain the most popular one, which he's a pedophile, if that counts as a crime. Okay, basically, he's pedophilic to Lindsay in the first gen cast. I'll show you this clip real quick.
They say man one more time, I'm gonna puke.
Everybody, this is Lindsay. Not too shabby.
Hi. Okay, you look
Tom McGillis and Jennifer Perch made Total Drama. That's why Tom McGillis is here. Total Drama is based off of Survivor. Basically, a few years before Total Drama was a thing, Survivor was actually here first and had a couple of seasons. Spin-offs of Total Drama. So basically, just like Total Drama-Rama, there is Total Drama The Redonkulous Race as a spin-off of Total Drama. Except the Redonkulous Race is a little different. It was a race around the world, so kinda like World Tour. Except the only difference being, whoever's last to get to the finish line, then they lose. Instead of, someone voting each other off in like some elimination. Blamley and Tom. So basically, Blaney and Tom were basically a host of the Celebrity Manhunt special. And a small fact about Blaney actually competed in World Tour in at least 2 episodes, except she was brought in 1 episode and eliminated in the next one. And Tom was just a host. So basically, that was layer 1 of the Total Drama Iceberg, and now we're moving on to layer 2 of the Total Drama Iceberg. Audition tapes. So basically, in Total Drama Island and Total Drama Revenge Island, audition tape for one of the campers that were eliminated will play after they were eliminated. Basically, there's only about 3 characters that don't have audition tapes, which would be Sean from Cocktail Island and Owen and Glenn from, Island. 16 references. So basically, in a Total Drama Action episode, there's actually a 16 reference, which is the 16 intro from another show Fresh TV made a few years before Total Drama.
Life begins after school. That's when we bend all the rules. In a place where we belong. I'm 16, starting to find my way. Got a new job, gonna start at the mall today.
Chris's Pet Venus Flytrap. Basically, in season 3 of Total Drama, they went all around the world, and apparently Chris had a Venus flytrap, which was never mentioned in Island or Action. But then when they get back to the island, on Revenge Island, aka season 4, the Venus flytrap is like way bigger than before, from the mutations. r/Total Drama Reddit. Basically, like many other communities on Reddit, there's a community for Total Drama called r/Total Drama. Feral Ezekiel. Basically, Feral Ezekiel is basically Ezekiel but feral after a world tour. So basically, if we went through the seasons, in Island, he's basically the same, same old Zeke. Then Total Drama Action, he's still the same since he didn't compete, so not really much would change. But then in Total Drama World Tour, he basically gets crazy and he wants to stay in the game, but Chris won't let him. So he basically stays in the plane with all the other animals and becomes feral. Topless Hover in Total Drama Island. Basically, in a Total Drama Island episode, they basically had to race through this muddy challenge. And basically, Hover tries to cheat in the game and cut the string so Harold could get off. But fails, and her bra comes off, so then yeah. At first when it aired in 2007, some people said they saw it actually, uncensored, but no, it was censored since it is a cartoon for kids and teens. OCs/original characters. Basically, people have made their own character designs like a Total Drama character, or an art style. The singing rule in Total Drama World Tour was broken. Basically, in Total Drama World Tour, there was a singing rule spoke upon in the first episode, but it's broken multiple times, mainly by Cody. Fresh TV. Basically, Fresh TV made Total Drama, and also 16, Stoked, and GarageBand. Reboot announcement in 2021. So basically, in 2021, it was announced that there would be 2 more Total Drama seasons, and this year now, in September or October, the new season cast was revealed. USA censorship. So basically, there is censorship in Total Drama. So basically, if you kind of think about it, Total Drama, if it wasn't for kids, it would probably have a lot of cussing in it. But that's not really the main censorship problem. Basically, in the USA, some small words were cut out, so they're kind of changed. So like, shut up, there's shut it. Or for crap, there's, well, I'm not really sure. Even Lindsay's bleeping to Hover is even changed to just mean words that didn't sound right. The bleeping actually sounded better. Rule 34, not safe for work. So basically, just like any other community, there's not safe for work of, well, the characters in a show, or game, or TV series. That's basically what this entry explains. Bonus clips. So basically, there's different bonus clips which could range from either audition tapes after someone was eliminated, or just, a random clip. So maybe one of Courtney jumping out of a car because of Lindsay talking. Battle for Dream Island. So basically, BFDI was inspired by Total Drama, but instead of, humans, there's objects. And basically, there's actually a few seasons of BFDI, meaning there's only 3 more. There's BFDIA, which was canceled on the 5th episode. There is IDFB, there's only 1 episode. And then there's BFB, which is the longest with 30 episodes, even though it's only 5 more in BFDI. And after BFDI, there was an Anime Insanity, which is technically the 2nd most popular object show, I'm pretty sure. So that was layers 1 and 2 of the Total Drama Iceberg. And then next video we move on to layers 3 and 4, then 5 and 6, and then probably whatever is after that. Alright guys, so we're back with the Total Drama Iceberg, and we're in layers 3 and 4 currently. The winners never had any audition tapes shown. So basically, the only contestants that didn't have an audition tape in Total Drama would be Owen, Glenn, and Sean, and probably some other people I forgot. Basically, the reason they don't have audition tapes is because, well, they already made it to the end of the series, and you already get to see, what they like to do and stuff, so there wouldn't really be a point in audition tapes. Plus, since Owen and Glenn got to the finale, their audition tape wouldn't really show anyway, since they're never, eliminated as like a bonus video. And Sean, I'm not really sure why. Beta character designs. So basically, for Total Drama Island and Total Drama Revenge of the Island, there was beta character designs. Oh yeah, also Cocktail Island. These are the Ranger Island designs, and if you look at Cameron, you can see that his designs are redesign of, well, Jay's, or Mickey's, or practically both. Then here are the Total Drama Island beta designs for the characters. So let's actually go through some of the characters that look, well, really different. So at the bottom here, you can see Kay and Say, they're actually just, background characters used a lot. Ezekiel looks really different, besides from his shoes, and Beth, well, she looks kinda the same, but then really different for clothes and her hairstyle. Then on the right, or right corner up, over here, we have someone that I'm not really sure of, but they're used as like a background character for Chris. Then we have this guy, which I'm still not sure who he's supposed to be. And Justin's face is a little different. And Eva looks completely different from what we have now. And then DJ used to look like this, but then it was changed to what we have now. This style of character is actually used in the background sometimes too. Total Drama is scripted. This entry is pretty self-explanatory, like any other reality show, since that is what it's based off. It's scripted, plus it's a cartoon, so we expect. Beth paid Brady in Total Drama Action. So basically, in one of the Total Drama seasons, which was Action, Beth said that she had a boyfriend named Brady, and basically just figured out she, paid for that boyfriend, cause, well, I guess nobody really believed her. Dawn has powers. So basically, in Total Drama Revenge at Island, there's a character named Dawn, and basically it says that she has powers. Basically, she could, read people's auras, tell if a character was lonely or not. So I guess Zoe, for example, basically she tells Zoe that she is a lonely child, which is weird because how would she even know that? So that's one of her powers. There's other powers like her teleporting. In the first episode of Revenge at Island, she somehow gets to the island not wet at all. Total Drama All-Stars and Cocktail Island are the same season. This entry is self-explanatory. They basically made All-Stars 5.1 and then Cocktail Island 5.2. Ezekiel's cameos throughout World Tour. So basically, throughout World Tour, Ezekiel, when he gets eliminated, he hangs onto the plane. and then stays on the planet with the animals, so he has a lot of appearances throughout the seasons. Moments where characters should have died. So basically, just a lot of injuries and total drama, and some of those injuries look fatal, but the characters still survive because, well, I guess nobody could die in a kid/teenager show. Heather's head shape changes through Total Drama Island to action. So basically, in Total Drama Island, when Heather's hair gets cut off in a challenge and she gets eliminated, her head's kinda flat on the top. But then when we get into Total Drama Island special and action, her head shape's round now. I guess to keep it, normal and not like that. Recycled beta characters. So I actually already explained this when I was explaining the beta characters. I said that some of them were used in the background, so like one is Justin's girlfriend or ex, and then some of them are Kay and Say's models being used as background characters. Or Chris's interns, sometimes. Lindsay was going to be a finalist in Total Drama Action. So basically, in Total Drama Action, people want Lindsay to win, but she didn't, and she had unfair elimination, sadly. But, if you want to actually know, behind the scenes, her voice actor wasn't available, so they had to eliminate her anyway. But, still was kinda unfair. So that was Camp Walnagua, aka Layer 3, and then I moved on to The Beach, which is Layer 4. Izzy's mental state. So basically, in Total Drama Island and all other seasons, so Action, World Tour, and I guess All Stars of the World, Izzy's mental state's kinda, going off the charts. She dresses up as a bear, scares her team / the campers. In All Stars, she sees through Mike in the boxing contest somehow, and she sees how Mike is trapped within his mind because of Mal. And then if you look at the picture right now, she was bit in the head 2 or 3 times, and she somehow still survived, but it's a cartoon, so it can't really die. Or at least not in this cartoon. Total Drama Ricky. So Total Drama Ricky used to do Total Drama videos. Some of them got removed because of swearing, but he doesn't do Total Drama anymore because of problems with the fandom. So now he does other cartoons, and now his channel's name is Toon Ricky. Adam Hadel. This entry, I didn't find anything because I don't even know who Adam Hadel is. He didn't even work on the show. Bridget cheated on Jeff. Basically, in Total Drama World Tour, Alejandro kinda tricks Bridget into liking him, or seducing her into liking him, I guess. And basically, there's a few times Bridget kisses Alejandro, and this is where entry makes sense, because I guess Bridget cheated on Jeff with Alejandro, kinda. 3D Total Drama. This entry is self-explanatory. There isn't a 3D Total Drama, but there is, 3D model thingies that people have made over the years. Scott died and Trent is immortal. Basically, a Scott died theory is here mostly because when he was eliminated, he was in a body cast because of the bullet hit him a few hours earlier into the challenge. And Fang probably built him up while they're eliminated, I guess. So that's the theory. And plus, in the finale, you can see him in a random robot suit with green and red lights. And then the Trent is immortal theory is made mostly because there's multiple times in the island he should have died, like jumping out of a plane, technically getting poisoned by a random pufferfish, and getting a whole box of oranges thrown at his head. But somehow an episode later, he's just alive and walking like nothing happened. Justin never talks. So in Total Drama Island, not including the special, Justin only had 4 lines in total. In his whole drama special thingy, he had some lines saying how Kay and Say were annoying. And when he was brought into action, he talked a little more, and he kinda was the villain this season, but then kinda wasn't, because looks didn't really work throughout the whole entire season. B's voice.
Time's up!
That's actually the only time you hear B's voice. That's the entry. Beth and Lindsay went to jail. So basically, in total drama action, or at least a special for action, Beth and Lindsay go to jail for ruining a painting in Paris. Total drama browser games. So basically, there's different browser games for total drama. So like All Stars, Revenge Island, and Action. But some of these either aren't playable or they were removed because it doesn't support, Flash anymore. So that was Camp Honagla and the beach. Now we're moving on to layers 5 and 6. Well, in the next video, obviously. So we are on layers 5 and 6 of the total drama iceberg now, which would technically make it a little longer than the Left 4 Dead iceberg and Scott Pilgrim iceberg. Stoked. Stoked is another Canadian show made by Teletoon and Fresh TV. Also, fun fact, so me and my brother watched 16, well, and total drama technically, but my brother doesn't remember 16, but then I don't remember Stoked. It's kind of weird. Alejandro's voice actor changed. So basically, for a world tour at All Stars, Alejandro's voice actor changed, and some people didn't like it because it didn't sound the same. Zoe was originally Molly and told Joey Revenge of the Island. So this century is kind of a little confusing to explain. But basically, Zoe originally looked like, well, that. But then her design was changed and, like, I don't know, it's kind of confusing. But her design was basically changed to what Dakota's design was in the video. So then when Dakota's design was changed, her colors were also changed. So, we have the Dakota we have now. And then Molly kind of disappeared, and Zoe, we see right here, that's not really the correct body type. Well, I guess not. It would basically change the logo to what we have now. Also, if you're questioning why you don't see B or Dawn here, well, it's because they're way later, so like kind of as the last thing. And what's funny is that they're actually the two most popular contestants in Revenge Island. Well, according to the fan base. The goths without their wigs or makeup. So basically, in total dramas, the redonkulous race, the goth's makeup starts to melt after a rocker see it, and then it gets all washed off after, the water splash. So then you get to see goths without their makeup or wigs, but then they get it all back the next time, or next episode. So basically, Rick, along with Anne-Maria, Noah, Harold, Lashana, Owen, and Justin, were going to be in Total Drama All-Stars. Also Anne-Maria. But they're cut out for some reason. It doesn't really show why. Ezekiel is racist. Basically, in Total Drama World Tour, Ezekiel caused his team to win, so up for elimination. Everybody votes for him, but then Ezekiel doesn't vote for himself. He votes for DJ for no reason, and it became a meme. Via message from Home Shorts. So basically, in Total Drama Island and Total Drama Action, they had these videos called Video Message from Home. There's only about 4 or 5 of these, so there's not really many. The message revolved around the people that are in the Final 5 or Final 4 of Total Drama Island or Action. Total Drama Reloaded. But essentially self-explanatory, kinda. It was basically originally named for Total Drama Revenge Island, but then it was, changed. Mal was the original personality of Mike. This is basically a theory that Mal is the original personality, which wouldn't really make any sense to me. So if we're being technically all of Mike's personalities has a distinct personality. So if we take Chester for example, he's old and he gets triggered when Mike gets hurt. And then you got Manitoba, which he gets triggered when Mike just puts a hat on, preferably the Australian sand looking hat. And then there's Vito, which he gets triggered when Mike's shirt comes off, and then he acts all, kind of coolish. I should explain how they act. Basically, Chester act grumpy, like old man, or at least a generic cartoon old man, and then Manitoba just act like Indiana Jones if it wasn't obvious. And then Vito would just act, well, like a cool Italian dude, I guess. I don't know how you explain him. And then there's Svetlana, which is a Sweden or Russian gymnast. And her personality is just that each time Mike's in danger, she gets triggered. And, well, yeah. And then Mao's just evil. That's it. Evil for being evil. And then you got Mike, who is, well, kind of just Mike, bland and shy. And then if you really think about it, Mike kind of just acts like a normal person. Everybody else has their weirdly distinct personalities and their weird facial expressions. So like Chester, he has one eye closed and spent long just randomly gets lipstick and those weirdly sparkle in their eyes that other cartoon characters get. Man, Toba, well, he looks just like Mike, except he has a smirk on his face. Same as Vio, he has a smirk, but at the same time, his hair gets slicked back. So Mal being the original personality, it doesn't really make any sense. Plus, it would probably make more sense to show Mal first, then Mike, and then all the other personalities, instead of showing Mike first, then all the other personalities, then Mal for like a split second, and, Revenge of the Island. So that was the community toilet, aka Layer 5. Now I move underwater to Layer 6. Heather and Duncan were going to be a couple. Basically, Duncan flirts with Heather a lot in Total Drama Island and Action, but he dates Courtney so he stops running for her. But then flirts for her again in Action, but then stops again because he starts dating Gwen. The art style of Total Drama is inspired by Clone High. Basically, Total Drama's art style is inspired by Clone High, which is another animation show which isn't based on, Island. It's just based on random people, doing school stuff. The original Total Drama All-Stars lineup. I said this a few entries ago, but the original Total Drama All-Stars lineup, besides from the main characters we have, there's gonna be Anne-Maria, Noah, Lashana, Owen, Harold, Justin, and that's really it. They weren't added in for some reason. They never really explained why they weren't. Chris is a pedophile. I better explain this a few entries ago too, that Chris basically makes some comments towards Lindsay, and only Lindsay, not really anybody else. Why Duncan went to juvie. Basically in Total Drama, it's told that Duncan went to juvie, but it's not really explained why he went to juvie. Since he is only 16, the only reason I could really think of is that he did theft. That's really the only thing I can think about. Oh yeah, and also you can technically act this. He exploded that random cabin at Chris and in Total Drama All-Stars. I guess that's another crime he did. But if you're talking about him before Island, then I guess only theft, since it's not really explained. And it was almost explained in one of the Total Drama Island episodes, episode 23. But then the cameras didn't catch it, even though they somehow catch everything else, which is weird. Courtney's voice actor has changed. Basically, 2 episodes after a world tour premiered, Courtney's voice actor, Emily Caraballo, changed to someone else who's just unknown. Dead interns. There's a lot of dead interns in Total Drama, and I'll tell you the examples. So, in Total Drama World Tour, in Greece, or when they're flying to Greece, when they fly a plane, they have to turn over, and the intern drops to his death without a parachute. In Revenge of the Island, at least in the first episode at the start, there's an intern that dies from a squid, and he also, a few episodes later, or actually a lot of episodes later, he falls into a pit, and then gets mutated, but you can just assume he died. So yeah, there's just a lot of dead interns in Total Drama. Total Drama figurines. I explained this a little bit earlier in the Iceberg, how there's 3 figurines, or just figures, of the Total Drama characters, but there is some fan-made figurines, so like these ones showing on screen right now, or at least for the image for this underwater layer. Fan seasons of Total Drama. There's basically a couple fan-made seasons which I'll show right now, or at least the animated ones. The first one is this adventure camp, which is still going on. And then there's Total Drama Gone Wild, which hasn't really been going on for like a few years now. And then there's Total Drama Odyssey, which actually has 3 seasons, which is Total Drama Island, Total Drama Hawaii, and Total Drama Egypt. Lord of the Rings reference in Total Drama World Tour finale.
yeah. They really ruined the shot, so we put the human wall there.
Don't you know what happens when pineapples meet lava?
I think you can see a reference, but there's CN, Rune, Gwent, and Dunkany. Basically, this is self-explanatory. CN ruined the relationship between Courtney and Duncan. So then, Duncan went with Gwen for some reason, but then they broke up in All-Star, so then, oh yeah. They could have just stayed, Duncan and Courtney, but CN ruined it for some reason. I still don't understand why. So that's the communal toilet and underwater / layers 5 and 6. Now we move on to layers 7 and 8, which is the final iceberg entries / layers. Well guys, we're on the final 2 layers of the Total Drama Iceberg, which are the toxic caverns or caves, I don't know what you want to call those, and a control room. Total Drama All-Stars rewrites. So basically, there's rewrites of the Total Drama All-Star season, mainly because, well, people rate this and technically Pockettail Island as the worst seasons of Total Drama, so, they want to rewrite it so it could be better. I don't know if people really rewrite Pockettail Island, but mainly this just revolves around All-Stars. Lindsay's roast exists uncensored.
I'm straight with people.
Whatever. I have invincibility. No one can touch me.
This week.
You really are mean! And all that bad stuff people say about you is true! Like how you're a two-faced, backstabbing, lying little... I always told them they were wrong. I stood up for you because I thought we were BFFs! But they're right! You really are a two-faced, backstabbing, lying little...
Sorry if it sounded a little off or played off, I guess, or at least audio. But basically, there's 2 different audios of Lindsay cursing. There's the censored version, which I just showed, and there's the uncensored, except, well, if you're a Total Drama fan, you already know what the uncensored one is. Basically, this show is saying a mean bully of a girl. Basically, just mean words, I guess. That's really an uncensored version, I guess. And basically, what this layer is referring to, or entry, the uncensored version. Basically, Lindsay actually cursing instead of it being censored or having some very weird words in it. They can't really find them on YouTube because, well, if you try to, it would just show like the censored version, maybe one of the uncensored versions, and then one where they just put or them audio of some other cartoon character or movie or TV character cursing. Sadie and Owen are related. Okay, if you look to the right, the white one, that's Sadie. And then here's Owen's mom, which you can see it looks a little similar to Sadie. There are 2 things that happened. They're too lazy to create another model for Owen's mom, or, well, they just are related. Unused textures. This one's self-explanatory. It's just unused textures in Total Drama. Slenderman appearance in Total Drama All-Stars. So basically, an episode of Total Drama All-Stars, or at least the 5th episode, before a break starts, Slenderman can be seen standing in the woods as Chris announces, what's happening. So I forgot to explain this at the start of the iceberg, and the start of the Scott Pilgrim iceberg too. So there's different colors for these, which, well, green means they're very common, blue means they're theories, red means they're probably don't exist, and then orange, it technically means the truth or just a theory too. Pockettail Island characters are recycled from Mike's personalities. No, not really. This entry doesn't really make a lot of sense since none of the characters really relate to Mike's personalities. Probably the only one would be Sky because she's athletic, but at the same time most of the other girls on Total Drama are athletic too. And then technically there's Jasmine because she's Australian. I guess Manitoba. They're kind of similar, but not too similar. not really similar at all that much. Basically, the characters aren't really recycled that much, or not all from Mike's personalities. The barf bags are accidentally deleted. This explains itself. Basically, barf bags from World Tour are deleted. Rodney and Scott are related. So this theory is that Rodney is basically Scott's brother, cousin or something. Mainly because, well, they're both ginger hair. They both lived on a farm. Those are kind of only two same things they have in common. I mean, there is differences in them. Like, Rodney's eyes are dotted while Scott's are, well, normal eyes, I guess. I don't know how you explain eyes. Or that Rodney's really nice, but Scott's really evil. Or at least in Revenge of the Island. Heather's plot armor. A good way to say this is how lucky Heather gets in Total Drama Island, I guess. Basically, there's times when Heather gets away from being evil. So, for example, in the treasure hunt episode, she somehow finds invincibility in some other items in her treasure chest somehow. Well, nobody else does for some reason, because apparently there was only one. And then in the talent episode, Justin gets voted out because Heather apparently told her whole team to vote him off. Even though Heather didn't even do anything, Justin got a higher rating than her. And also, how did she even convince everybody? And then there's the cooking episode, which technically entirely wasn't her fault. It was kind of Owen's fault and Beth's fault. Mainly because she had that tiki doll, but at the same time, Heather was being rude and not really helping the group in the cooking episode. Lightning sexuality. So basically, he's not really sure of what sexuality Lightning is. I mean, some people have shipped him with Joe, but no, not really. I mean, he says he does support the LGBTQ community, since in one of the episodes, Revenge of the Island in the Cave, basically just says she never kissed a guy, and Lightning not knowing that she is a girl, he says he doesn't judge. If you catch her, get it. So it's not really sure what his sexuality really is. Unauthorized Persian dub. In Iran, Total Drama is actually banned in there. Well, mainly because they have too American clothing. But if you're in Iran, there is an unauthorized dub on YouTube that you can watch if you understand English language, or any other language for that matter. That's the toxic waste caverns of the Iceberg. Now move on to the control room. The Eva fandom. Basically, there's a fandom that revolves around Eva, of all characters. Eva, like Ezekiel, isn't really the most well-liked character in Total Drama. I don't really have a problem with her. I find her funny at sometimes. But, yeah, she has a fandom. The Ali Tyler video. Now, obviously, it's not safe for work, so I can't really show anything. But basically, it's an inappropriate video. People saw it, looked the Total Drama animation, but, like, really well animated like it, or something like that. Which challenge could a human actually survive in real life? So basically, this has become a question in the community of Total Drama. Which challenge will a real human survive? I'm not going to go down all the challenges, but the only one in Island at least, since it is the most survivable season, the only challenge in there that would actually be survivable would be a dodgeball challenge, since it's really just dodgeball, it doesn't really hurt, and also the paintball challenge. The campers are meta-humans. This essentially explains how the campers are meta-human, meaning they could survive through basically anything. I mean, you could take Trent as an example, because if you look at him throughout Island in action, he got injured a lot. Plus, there is a lot of injuries in the show, but then the campers are somehow fine the next day. The only campers that actually had injuries that lasted out throughout the whole show, it would probably only be like Sierra through episodes 24 or 25/26 in Total Drama World Tour. And if you want to count it, then Alejandro in World Tour when he gets Molten's, then stuck in a robot suit, then his legs can't move, apparently. Teletoons contest. So basically, back in the day, at least in the Action World Tour, Total Drama had a contest for someone to be in a show. Well, not actually be in a show, but they had a character made that and they could answer questions. This is actually a winner's face appearing on screen right now. That's the actual entry's face. Also, if you looked at other Fresh TV shows like 16 or Skatoonie, those shows have contest winners too. Topless Hour Uncensored was the most viewed TV video on YouTube at one point. So basically, at one point on YouTube, Topless Hover was the most viewed video on YouTube at one point, but it isn't now. The Total Drama Creepypasta. Basically, a little while ago, in 2007 when Total Drama first started, there was basically a creepypasta that aired. There was a YouTube video of it, but then it either isn't really findable anymore, unlisted, or was just deleted for being too inappropriate. Camp Wawanakwa is real. Now usually, I would say this is self-explanatory, but it's not, because Camp Wawanakwa isn't even real. It's a made-up place. I mean, the show is made up, and it's just a mock-up of other reality TV shows. Total Drama World Tour Cody ending. Again, not really self-explanatory, but Cody didn't win Total Drama World Tour. I don't know what it's really referring to. Maybe him losing to Alejandro, and him saying, "Take that, Al," at the ending. I'm not sure what this is really referring to. Well, the final entry. Probably seen this in a lot of other icebergs, but every episode of Total Drama is personalized. This one, it's a theory. I mean, you can think what you want about it, because I'm not totally sure on what these personalized theories mean. But yeah, that was the end of the iceberg. Really long iceberg. This one actually took me over a month instead of just 2 or 3 weeks. Oh yeah, I was gonna put this on a channel update video, which, I mean, I probably still am, because I don't think people watch the end of these outros. But my next video is either gonna be 2 things, or 3. Random clips, or it's gonna be rating every episode of some TV show. I might do seasons 1 through 3 of Total Drama, or I would just do regular show. And then the second video I do would be another iceberg, but I don't know what iceberg I really want to do next.